Pokemon Legends ZA looks pathetic and we deserve better. You know, it sucks seeing yourself become the thing you never wanted to be. You know, I never wanted to be that person that when they watched a Pokemon trailer, they felt very apathetic towards it. But unfortunately, in the big year of 2025, after years of blunders from Pokemon, I no longer feel anything when I watch trailers from this company. Pokemon Legends ZA kind of looks, I don't know, soulless as hell. So let me be honest with you, Pokemon Legends Arceus was a refreshing game to me. I liked it despite its issues. And you know what? When I played Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I liked them at the time despite their issues. And it was that mindset that really got into my head recently, and I was like, wait, how many times are we as Pokemon fans going to just like these games despite all of their very obvious, glaring, terrible issues? First of all, this is not some tiny company worth no money. This is Pokemon, worth probably some of the most money out of any franchise ever. I'm pretty sure it's one of the most profitable franchises of all time. And when they finally revealed Legends ZA for the Switch, oh man, it looked rough. I'm talking specifically about the Switch 1 port, by the way. The game looked borderline unplayable. Terrible frame rate, pop-in, choppiness all around, like it just looked bad. The resolution horrendous. It makes you wonder, what the hell were they doing? This is the same system that runs Breath of the Wild at a pretty decent resolution and frame rate. So what happened? Okay, well, to be honest, at the time, I think a lot of us just assumed this game was going to get a Switch 2 version as well. And it did. It did get revealed that it's getting a Switch 2 edition. It cost more money than the Switch 1 edition, but in my honest opinion, you have to buy the Switch 2 edition if you're going to play this game. I don't think the Switch 1 version looks very playable at all. So awesome. They're charging extra money for the Switch 2 edition. That's to be expected. That's just the way the cookie crumbles in the gaming industry now. So what does the Switch 2 edition entail? Well, it entails 60 FPS and a higher resolution, and I think better graphics? I don't know. The game still looks pretty fucking ugly in my opinion. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The game does not look pretty at all. It's pretty ugly. It borderline looks like a 3DS game at this point. Like I don't understand what they're doing over there. But graphics don't matter if the game is fun, right? Well, unfortunately, I do not think this game looks fun at all. So you can have the Switch 2 version fix the performance and resolution, but if the game isn't fun, the game isn't fun. Now, how do I not think a Pokemon game looks fun? Well, to be honest, it's a lot of things. Yeah, they're trying something new with the real-time combat, and maybe it'll be fun when I get my hands on it myself, but it looks really cluttered and kind of like a lot. It kind of reminds me of Xenoblade Chronicles. Except I do not trust Game Freak to make a combat system as deep as Xenoblade Chronicles is, okay? Now, I shouldn't say that because the turn-based RPG combat system they have down pat is really deep. I'm just taking jabs at how much Game Freak has burned us over the last few years. Remember, Scarlet and Violet came out in some of the most unacceptable states for video games, and it outsold other Pokemon games, and I'm part of the fucking problem for that. And I've just thought over the last few months that I don't want to be a part of the fucking problem anymore. I'm not telling you you shouldn't buy this game. I'm just telling you you deserve better as a Pokemon fan. Am I gonna buy this game? I honestly have no idea. It'll really depend on the general reception when it comes out, but at the moment, I am not sold at all. I want to like the game because the ideas look really cool, but you know what? It just doesn't outweigh all the things that I do not like about what I've seen. Once again, I have seen that we have cutscenes without any voice acting, so you just have the characters moving their mouths constantly with a text box under them and it's silent. That's awkward as hell. Can we please stop doing that? Can you please either just stop doing cutscenes or add voice acting? I'm begging you. We live in a time where video games just cost way too much money. So now to charge extra money just to get the more playable version of this game, and I feel like it's not really worth it, just kind of ticks me off and might have pushed me over the edge a little bit on why I'm not super down for this game right now. The Nintendo Switch 2 cannot save this game for me. And I'm not approaching this as somebody who hates the Pokemon franchise. It is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I have played every single game. I am part of the problem. I have bought all the new games when they come out. Even the ones that I hated, like Sword and Shield, I bought them when they came out. I contributed to these games being in a bad state. And now I'm realizing that, and I just don't want to be a part of that anymore. I'm infuriated and tired of just being fed kind of half-assed slop from a company that basically stopped caring about its fans. I'm gonna be honest, the game looks like gacha graphics, mobile gacha graphics. Like, this is just not a good art direction for the Pokemon games. This looking like a mobile phone game, that sucks. And the bar has gotten so low that so many people are just praising every good thing they see. And I'm just like, I want you to remind yourselves of the quality this franchise used to put out game after game back in the day. One of my biggest complaints about Pokemon Legends Arceus was I felt like the game got repetitive, even with its different open zones to explore. Well, with this game, it looks like you're only in Lumio City, which is way less area to explore than in Legends Arceus. Now, I haven't gotten my hands on it to see for myself, but being restricted to a single city seems pretty ridiculous for the Pokemon franchise, especially when in recent times, they have not made towns even remotely memorable. And to be honest, from what I've seen so far, this town is no different. Despite it being Lumio City, it doesn't interest me. It's not very interesting. It doesn't seem very interesting to walk around, and nothing really seems memorable. I read a comment somewhere that said the open zones look like a zoo exhibit, and I'm inclined to agree. Why does it look like I'm just running around in little zoo exhibits catching Pokemon? It does not look like it's going to be very stimulating for very long. I'm sorry, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. I know a lot of people are excited for this game, but I'm just fed up. Everything's $1 trillion, right? Video games are $1 billion, and you can only afford like one every so often. And again, we as fans deserve better than this, but it doesn't matter. The game is going to sell 100 trillion quadrillion copies. It doesn't matter that I'm not going to buy it day one. Oh yeah, and they're bringing back Mega Evolutions, which, that's cool, I guess. Mega Dragonite looks really fucking stupid though, and I'm not sorry for saying that. He looks horrid. I hate this. Do better. Are we supposed to applaud Game Freak for getting to 60 FPS in the year of 2025? Because I'm not going to, right? Because it's honestly ridiculous that they cannot get their games to run worth a damn without compromising so much. I frankly don't trust them with their real-time battle system. I'll believe it when I see it that we don't lag all over the place. And that's where I have to really consider that this game is just being targeted towards a younger generation now. But you know what? The games were targeted towards me when I was a kid, and they were much higher quality. Like, they were undeniably much higher quality than what we get now. I know I came from a time when Pokemon as a franchise wasn't stretched so unbelievably thin across everything, but it's still pretty ridiculous that they just don't care about the games anymore. Now, I'd love to be wrong and that for this game to be amazing. I'm not going to be one of those people that crosses my arms and goes, oh, well, I didn't want to like the game, so I'm not going to like it. No, if the game comes out and everybody likes it and I get my hands on it and I like it, I'll say I like it. I'm not against that. I would love for it to be a fun and good game, but the trailers just haven't done anything for me. If anything, they've pushed me away from the game. I've asked a few other of my friends what they think of the game, and they're pretty split. You know, I got a few close friends that say they're extremely excited for it, and then I got friends that lean towards my side where they just don't think the game looks all that fun. And I think that that's going to be a more popular opinion than I realize. The more I look at the comments and the trailers, the more I see people are like, hey, this, you know, it looks okay, but you guys have burned us. We deserve better than this. And I hope more people realize that. I'm probably going to receive a comment about how we, quote unquote, don't deserve anything, because that's entitled. And you're right, we actually don't deserve anything. But they're worth billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. So like, if you're gonna suck us dry every year, could you at least make it a quality time? It's not all bad. I like that Pokemon X and Y is getting a weird, this isn't like a third game, but like a nod to Z in some way, since those games felt underdeveloped in the sense that they didn't get a third version. And I want it, again, I want it to be a good game. I always wanted to support these games as much as I could. And I feel like I've supported them and supported them and supported them, and I feel like I've just been burned and burned, and I want better for me, for you, for the company, frankly. I'm sure they don't care because they have so much money, but you know, like, wouldn't it be nice to have a reputation of making good video games again? If you've made it this far and you don't want to kill me, well, thank you. If you do want to kill me, I understand. I am taking a jab at Pokemon and Nintendo, which is like a no-no on the internet, but that's okay. I'm pissed off enough that I just kind of wanted to vent about it. You're entitled to want this game and to like it. I hope that if it's a good game that you enjoy it. Yeah, thanks for watching. I promise I don't hate Pokemon. I'm more like a disappointed parent, if anything, but I do hope that like one day I can look at the franchise again and be extremely happy about it.